It's a beautiful night in the Hamptons. We're on the grounds of the Bridgehampton Historical Society, and tonight you're invited to a birthday celebration. Bridgehampton National Bank, a premier bank here on the eastern end of Long Island, celebrates its 100th anniversary. So stay with WVVH. We'll be bringing you here to this party, Bridgehampton National Bank 100th anniversary.
Community banks are defined by mission, not size. These institutions are the cornerstone of the community, helping local families and businesses plan, save, and build. They help community members realize their dreams. Bridgehampton National Bank has lived this mission for 100 years, with roots that lie in the farming and agricultural communities of eastern Long Island. Do you ever wonder where it all began? On November 5th, 1909, a public meeting was held at the Firemen's Hall in Bridgehampton. A group of local farmers and merchants were searching for a way to help serve the needs of the growing agricultural villages on the east end of Long Island. On February 19, 1910, Henry Chatfield, G. Clarence Topping, and Elmer Thompson opened the bank's doors to their first customers. Deposits that day totaled $2,249.86.
We're at Bridgehampton Historical Society, and tonight is a night of celebration.
Certainly is.
I'm with Kevin O'Connor, who's the president of Bridgehampton National Bank 100-year celebration, and congratulations. You look pretty good for...
Thank you very much. This is very exciting. As we stand here today, we are celebrating our 100th anniversary, and what we're doing is we're bringing together our employees, our customers, shareholders, and to do it on the grounds of the Historical Society, where this all began 100 years ago, is just tremendous. We've been able to pull together artifacts representing the 100 years of the bank, bring together people. Tonight we're going to debut a video that we shot that reflects the history of the bank, and more importantly, it takes the history of the bank and brings it current, which is very important for us.
Well, community banks are very important. You're the bridge to the employees, the businesses. I know your bank is very active in working with the Hispanic community, which is very significant here in Suffolk County. So over 100 years, that's been the philosophy. From 100 years ago, what was it, buggy whips?
I guess it was. It was certainly the farmers, but the idea that we do bridge, we can provide the finance for people to really realize their life dreams. And your point about the Hispanic community is very important. Our newest branch is going to be in Patchogue, where we view the new business people of that community, and we're excited about that. So this is certainly, while 100th anniversary is a celebration of the past, it is a view toward the future for us.
Banking has changed. For the most part, it hasn't changed for the better. People are very suspect of banking, but yours is a local community bank, which is in the entire East End, but you mentioned Patchogue. How are you approaching banking now with all of the changes and regulations that you face as a bank president?
Well, in some ways you're right. There are a lot more regulations and things, but I think we try to bring it back to its basic, simple philosophy, is that we're trying to deal with each customer one at a time. We provide the services. We like to think we're partners with our customers. As we take their deposits, we make them loans, we give them advice. We work with them, and that's what's important, and that's what, again, the lessons of the last 100 years will serve us well as we go forward. So,
well, 200 years from now, I know there's going to be another celebration. It'll probably be right here at Bridgehampton Historical Society. Continued success. You really make a difference in this community, and being the local TV station that's out here, that's seen in now the tri-state area, we're very proud of Bridgehampton National Bank. You'll be seeing Kevin also at the Hampton Classic Horse Show, which is another great event.
That is a great event. We look forward to it every year.
How does a bank that began with just $25,000 evolve into an institution of more than 200 employees with branches across Suffolk County and assets nearing $1 billion? By supporting the organizations that make Eastern Long Island unique. Generations of families have depended on their relationship with Bridgehampton National Bank to build their businesses. The Halsey family has been farming in Southampton since the town was founded in 1639. Today, Tom and Dot's farm is operated by their son Adam.
Farmers at that time definitely needed a local bank that knew what they were looking for to help with the transition from smaller farms into larger farms.
Just like the founders founded the bank because they believed that in order to have a successful and prospering community, they needed to have a local, hands-on financial institution to help it grow and prosper.
On this beautiful night in Bridgehampton, I'm joined by Bob and Marcia Hefter, and you are the chairperson?
The chairperson is correct of the bank, of Bridgehampton National Bank, and very, very happy to be here to celebrate with everyone else.
This is a great night. As someone who has such an important role in the bank's future, present and future, looking back, reflecting on the 100 years, you must be very proud.
Extraordinarily proud. It's a wonderful tradition to be a part of, and it's wonderful to look back 100 years, but even more exciting to look forward to the next 100 years. So it's a wonderful crossroads to be at.
What are the challenges facing someone to be the chairman of a bank? That's an awesome responsibility.
It's awesome, but it's also extraordinarily interesting because you can become involved in every aspect of banking, which includes personal relations, advertising, investments, finance. So it is a wonderful challenge, but it's very, very educational and very enjoyable.
We're joined by a dear friend of WVVH-TV and someone who's been part of the Southampton community, Bridgehampton community, and here tonight to celebrate Bridgehampton National Bank's 100th birthday celebration. This is Congressman Tim Bishop. Congressman Bishop of the first
congressional district.
Isn't that amazing? The first congressional district.
Yep.
You have always been, we've known you a lot of years from your days at Southampton College to being an active person in this community, and now, of course, as a congressperson. These are trying times, aren't they?
They're very difficult times. There's a lot of anger in the country, and there's a lot of fear and uncertainty. I mean, people are worried about whether they can hang on to their jobs. They're worried about whether they, whether they can keep their homes, whether they're going to be able to send their kids to college. I mean, the economic downturn that we have suffered beginning in 2007 has caused a lot of pain, and we're working very hard at trying to get our economy back on stable footing and get people working again and get people able to stay in their homes again. It's going to take us a while. We have a big hole to dig out of, but it's going to take us a while, and I'm confident we'll get there. But the core issue is the same all across the district, and that's jobs. And it's understandable. People want to be able to feel secure in their jobs. They want to know that they can provide for their families, and that's the most important thing that any of us in elected office can do right now, is try to put in place the policies we need to keep people working.
And that's why we're here tonight. Bridgehampton National Bank gives loans to businesses, creates jobs in the community, and thank you for your active role as you are a politician, so we have to label you with that. But you really are a person who really cares about this community.
I do, and and I have a special place in my heart for the Bridgehampton National Bank. My grandfather was a trustee of this bank 60 years ago, and so I have a very special place in my heart for it. He was a potato farmer in Sagaponack, and my mother grew up in Sagaponack and went to Bridgehampton schools, and so I love this community, and I love this bank. It's one of the few community owned banks that's left. I mean, most of as you know, most of the smaller banks have been gobbled up by the larger banks. But to know that we got a local bank with its feet in the community and the trustees are members of the community, that's a very important thing. So,
continued success to you, Congressman.
Thank you so much.
We're here on the grounds of Bridgehampton Historical Society, and this is John Ellertson, who's the executive director of Bridgehampton Historical, and this is a great night for Bridgehampton Historical and Bridgehampton National Bank.
Oh, it sure is, and we're so happy to be working with the bank this year, celebrating their 100th anniversary. We were very pleased when they approached us and asked if they could have their big celebration bash on our grounds, and it's worked out wonderful.
Bridgehampton Historical Society is a premier historical society here on the eastern end of Long Island. What you guys put together and what you mean to this community and thankfully people had the foresight to preserve property and the collections that you have.
That's right. We've been very fortunate. People from, the last 56 years, maybe 57 years now, we've been working hard. My predecessors, the boards, the volunteers have really tried hard to hold in trust the history of Bridgehampton for the community. And now with some new things happening, both the Nathaniel Rogers House is finally going to get under construction, so we're going to renovate that building. Right by the monument, the old derelict building that people have seen for years with those 2x4s holding up the columns. If you've driven by, you've seen the columns are down, and they're going to be restored, and we're actually going to contract sometime this summer. And construction there is going to start. We just entered a stewardship agreement to take over the old Martyrs building. That's going to become our archives and research center and presentation space. And of course here with all the old historic buildings in the Korath House, we're pretty active, and we couldn't do it without support from people and from people like you. You've been a great supporter for our road rallies and lots of our events, and so we thank you for all your help too.
Well, we're happy to be part of Bridgehampton Historical Society. You guys have a great website for our viewers. It's open to the public.
That's right. We're open year-round, Monday through Friday, 10 till 3, and starting in mid-June, we're actually open Monday through Saturday. So people have a lot of chances, a lot of opportunity to come here and see our exhibits and visit our house.
What's the website, John?
It is bridgehamptonhistoricalsociety.org. It's not very creative, but it says exactly what we are.
It's a great night here at Bridgehampton Historical Society, and I'm joined by Terry Sultan, who's the director of the Parish Art Museum. And for those of our viewers who don't know of the parish, premier organization, institution in Southampton.
That's right. Well, for now we're in Southampton. Soon we'll be in Watermill. But we are 100 years old also, but not celebrating our anniversary yet. But we've been a museum in this community since 1898. And we have a wonderful permanent collection of works by William Merritt Chase, Fairfield Porter, Chuck Close, Cindy Sherman, Elizabeth Peyton, April Gornick, all the greats.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything less. It is the Hamptons, and this is a premier institution of the Hamptons. And you've been at the helm for a few years. Exciting times ahead?
Great times ahead. I've been the director for just a little over 2 years now, and we are getting ready to break ground on a new building, which will open to the public in June of 2012, if all goes well. So yes, it's very exciting times. And I do want to say something about the Bridgehampton National Bank, because they are a community bank and they've been incredibly generous to the Parish Art Museum. They help support our children's programs, and they'll be helping us make a success out of our new building project as well.
Well, isn't that super? Well, the Parish Art Museum, premier institution here in the Hamptons. What's happening this summer?
We have an amazing summer ahead. People are going to want to come often to the museum. Right now we have an exhibition up called Fairfield Porter Raw, which is all drawn from the permanent collection of works by Fairfield Porter. I don't know if you know, but the parish is one of the strongest collections of Fairfield Porter's work of any museum in the world.
So for our viewers, open to the public, you've planned their whole summer. So if you're able to make your way to Southampton, Parish Art Museum, continued success, Terry.
Thank you so much. Everybody come out to the Hamptons and have a good time.
A vibrant artistic tradition is part of the heritage of Eastern Long Island.
Bridgehampton National Bank has been one of the most important partners that Guildhall has had over the last decade. They have sponsored our Student Art Festival, which happens every year, and in addition to that, they are helping us with the funding of this wonderful renovation that we have here. We very much appreciate their partnership, their friendship. They're always there supporting us, helping us. We actually couldn't do it without Bridgehampton National Bank.
We're with Paul Brennan of Prudential Douglas Ellerman. You run the office here in Bridgehampton, don't you?
That's correct. Bridgehampton, and actually run all of the 9 offices on the South Fork.
Gee, you got a promotion since last.
I I don't know if it's a promotion, but it certainly is a lot of work.
Well, in the world of real estate, you are one of the premier people in that field. You work for a premier company run by a woman who we love, Dottie Herman.
Dottie, yes, absolutely.
This event tonight is for Bridgehampton National Bank. How important are events like this, and how important is the bank in your dealings?
Well, personally, it's I'm here because my great-grandfather was one of the founders of the banks. His name was Eugene Sayre. So everything that you see on my mother's side, everything that you see that started with the bank, you see his signature on. So I even managed to buy a few shares of stock that he had originally, which got me involved in the bank, and why I still stay involved in the bank. On a personal level also, the bank's been tremendous to me over the years in helping me grow, not only business-wise, but mortgages and etc. So I just had to come down here and just say thank you, really, to the Bridgehampton.
We're joined by a very important person here on the eastern end of Long Island, our Senator, Senator Ken Laval. If you go to Stony Brook University, there's a big stadium with your name on it, and that must be, you must be proud of that.
Well, I have to tell you, the first time that it was open and I drove down and I saw my name, I have to tell you, I got very choked up and very teary-eyed. It's quite overwhelming. It's quite overwhelming. And I'll tell you...
And deserved. Let me just add for our viewers, you, for many years, chairman of the Education Committee in the State Senate. And you were in charge of education in New York State. So well-deserved to have at least something named after you. This night is all about Bridgehampton National Bank.
Let's just talk about that. 100 years, our community banks have been the center of our community here in Suffolk County. Bridgehampton has provided the wherewithal, the money, the cash for expansion, to allow small businesses and individuals with expansion projects on their homes or buying a new home. So it is really great to see 100 years of community involvement.
Well, thank you, Senator, for all the work you do. We're very mindful of it because we know whenever there's a problem or an issue, people run to Senator Ken Laval. You really represent the people here well, and all of the people in New York State. Continued success.
You're very generous. Thank you.
Not only does the Bridgehampton National Bank offer financial support through loans, special financing options, and direct gifts, its staff is encouraged to help in their own backyards by volunteering on boards for events and with projects that contribute to the community. The East Hampton Food Pantry provides groceries for over 400 families a week. It has benefited greatly from the bank's community involvement.
Bridgehampton National Bank has been wonderful with us. We've been working with them now for a couple of years on various programs. When we first approached Bridgehampton National Bank about our ideas, they were really excited and they responded to it right away. And through that, we were able to get quite a few donations, which was distributed amongst 10 different pantries in the North and South Fork. It was the employees of the bank who really stepped up and who did the work, and we were absolutely thrilled about that.
You know, this is an important party because John Kowalenko of Art of Eating is here, and yours is the premier catering event party company here in the Hamptons.
Well, thanks, Ernie. We really try hard. We have a great team. Michelle Stair, my wife, my partner, and the exec chef is, you know, a big part of this, along with everybody that works in my kitchen. You know, Jeff Perazzi, our executive chef, and, you know, Kelly Lemon, our captain. I mean, if you look around here tonight, you can see how many people it takes to put an event on like this, you know, and working hand in hand with Claudia Pilato at Bridgehampton National Bank to help get this all together, get the feel, you know, with, you know, the tenting and the lighting and, you know, all the things that go into the event. It's really important.
It's a big party. It's a 100th anniversary of a major institution here in the Hamptons, Bridgehampton National Bank. What are you serving to, this is a pretty upscale crowd here. well-heeled, as we can say.
Yeah, well-heeled. Well, you know, we have a couple of stations. It's an hors d'oeuvre party tonight for a couple hours, and the guests can go down to one of the stations, and it's just like a mushroom saute, and they could have either with a crostini and some sun-dried tomatoes or a soft polenta we have, and the chefs are, as I said, sauteing 5 mushrooms from a local mushroom grower, David, over in Sag Harbor. So we get all the mushrooms from him. As we do with most of our produce, we try to buy everything we can that's local, fresh, and seasoned.
What I like especially about John is not only is he a master event organizer, but he's a surfer. And you're big on the surfing, so good surfing season?
Actually, last week was pretty good. I surfed about 5 days last week, on and off. I had a little time off, and going tomorrow morning, so we'll see what happens tomorrow morning.
We're on the grounds of Bridgehampton Historical Society, and for many years, with this gentleman, Fred Kamen, we were part of the Bridgehampton Historical Society Road Rally.
You sure were.
And I discovered, just heard that the Bridgehampton National Bank was started on these grounds or something like that?
That I did not know. But I'll tell you, they've been a fantastic institution in this town. I understand that for years, no other bank was allowed to come into Bridgehampton, that the only charter was granted to the Bridgehampton Bank. And I don't know if that's still true, but I'll tell you, I think they're the best possible neighbor you could have in the world. They're what every bank ought to be. They really are.
Bridgehampton National Bank's success is built on local communities and a strong knowledge of the customer, the business, and the marketplace. The bank will rely on these enduring relationships and loyal supporters to see it through the next 100 years.
I've followed some very impressive men who have really understood what the mission of community banking is. We're very proud of the things this organization's accomplished in its 100 years of existence. We lend to people. We have personal relationships with our customers. We know who they are, we know what their businesses are. That is community banking. It's helping our customers build their life streams, and we'll use those to build on the next legacy for this company.
Bridgehampton National Bank is celebrating their 100th anniversary.
100 years and still going.
Happy 100th birthday.
Happy 100th birthday.
Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for coming. The weather held out, which is very good. A lot of fingers were crossed, a lot of prayers were said. It's a very exciting time for us. It's good to be here with everybody, and as a community bank, it's important for us to celebrate this with the community, and the community being shareholders, customers, and our employees. So again, thank you very much, and I know that we have some proclamations, and what I'd like to invite is Marcia Hefter, our chairwoman of the board, please. I guess I'll turn the mic over to Fred Thiel and Senator Laval.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. And Senator Laval and I are going to join in this presentation because I have in my hand a very historical document. It's very good that we're on the grounds of the Historic Society. This is a document that this year was actually passed by both the State Assembly and the State Senate. There aren't a lot of those things that have happened in the legislature this year. But more historic than the fact that it passed both houses of the legislature is the fact that this was a resolution that both the senator and I sponsored commemorating the Bridgehampton National Bank on its 100th anniversary. And that's the true historic part of this moment. And listen, it's been great for me through my years and living and growing up here to first of all be a customer of the bank, but also to work with the bank. I think that the one thing that distinguishes the Bridgehampton National Bank so much from any other financial institutions is the amount of commitment and the level of its commitment to community projects, community affairs, and all of the other local institutions that depend on the Bridgehampton National Bank here locally. Whatever I've been involved with through my years, whether it be the Community Preservation Fund, or I know Aiden Wood is, yeah, there he is, the Southampton Youth Services, SYS, every one of these projects the Bridgehampton National Bank has been involved in, and it is because of that that the East End is such a special place. And I think really because of that, it's our pleasure to present you with this resolution passed by both houses of the legislature. Before we do that, I just want to turn the microphone over to Senator Laval.
Thanks, Fred. I'm always pleased to partner with Fred on something. One of the things that he forgot to say, which is makes this even more historic, is can you believe that this resolution in both the Assembly and the Senate passed unanimously, unanimous agreement over Bridgehampton National Bank. That's incredible. I just want to add that community banks, 100 years in the case of Bridgehampton, has really been the core of the community to help small businesses, individuals, finance their dreams. And you have done so much at a time when people said, yeah, I don't know whether we can lend any money out. And I don't know what they're holding it for when we need to stimulate the economy. But there are many not-for-profits that have been helped. And as I said, small businesses and individuals. So on behalf of both of us, we present the unanimously passed resolution.
And because of this, Kevin, it was unanimous. We'll be inviting you to Albany on Monday to help negotiate the budget. Thank you.
No, banking is very easy. That's very difficult. Mayor Epley?
But I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just want to recognize, state a couple organizations we recognize in here that Bridgehampton National Bank has supported: the Retreat, the Children's Museum, the East End, the Southampton Youth Services, Peconic Land Trust, Alternatives, the American Cancer Society, Southport Breast Health Coalition, and the NAACP, just to name a few. And Bridgehampton National Bank has been serving generations of the same families who began with the bank in 1910 with products and services that address a technologically modern society joined by new customers and new markets, and who value the relationship, pride, and commitment to the community it serves. So on behalf of the Village of Southampton, all the residents of the Village of Southampton, all the residents of the town, and all the businesses that work with you guys and you support and keep mom and pop in business, including my own business, thank you very much and congratulations.
Companies celebrating or thinking about a 100th anniversary, many times companies are a little afraid to do that because it's backward looking, and we should always be thinking forward. But as we sat and thought about how we would celebrate it at the board and management, we recognized that what we've done in the past is really how we're going to build for the future. So it's important for us to celebrate it. And what you'll see here tonight is how we believe what was created by people 100 years ago, what these people around this room do every day, what you help us do as shareholders and customers, and really partners with us in the community, is what's going to create the organization that we can continue to grow and do the things, make the loans, support the community. So this is very exciting. I am very proud. I've only been here 3 years, so I feel a little humble to be here at this point in time to celebrate 100, but it is something to be said about the culture that existed here, that in the 3 years I've been here, I feel like I've been here my whole life, because this is such an important part of what every one of us that work for this company feel and believe, that community banking for us, it's not defined by size, it's the mission that we have to really be parts of all the communities where we are, whether we're in East Hampton, Southampton, Bridgehampton, where we go now in the future. We will be part of the fabric of the community, supporting all aspects of the community. Claudia, is Mimi here? And Curlin? They did all the hard work. Wait,
Herlin, she always takes the pictures. Who's going to take the picture? All right.
Happy 100th anniversary to Bridgehampton National Bank. For WVVH-TV, I'm Ernie Shimizi.